Have you ever wondered what it would be like to marry someone who has already experienced life in a different way? Someone who has already been through the journey of love and loss. The idea of marrying a widow or widower is often surrounded by both curiosity and concern. Today, we're diving deep into this topic, discussing the risks and realities of marrying a widow. If you're wondering, what could go wrong? Or, is this relationship worth the risk? You're in the right place. So, let's start by considering a simple fact. When you marry a widow, you're not just marrying the person standing in front of you. You're also marrying their past, their memories, their heartaches, and their experiences. This can be both a blessing and a burden. Picture this. You meet someone who is kind, loving, and perfect in every way. You feel an immediate connection, and it seems like fate brought you together. But then, you find out they were once married. Now, you're not just trying to win their heart. You're also competing with their past. And that's where the risks begin. Risk 1. The comparison to the past. One of the first risks that can come up when marrying a widow is the constant comparison to their previous spouse. It's natural to wonder, will they always think about their late partner? Will you ever measure up to the memory of someone who was once so significant in their life? This isn't just a feeling, it's a reality that many people face. Imagine this. You're out on a date, enjoying the moment with your partner, but suddenly, they mention something about their past spouse. It could be a passing comment, a small memory, or a seemingly innocent remark. But for you, it might feel like an unspoken comparison. And even if it's not intentional, it can stir up feelings of insecurity and doubt. You might start to question, am I enough? For some people, the fear of being constantly compared to the past is overwhelming. It may even feel like you never able to truly take your place in their heart because someone else already holds that space. But here's the thing. Every relationship is different. While it's easy to focus on the past, it's important to remember that your partner chose to move forward and open up their heart again. If you focus on building your own unique connection, you might find that the past becomes less of a shadow and more of a lesson. Risk 2. Emotional baggage. When you marry someone who has lost a spouse, you're not just dealing with the loss of a person, you're also dealing with the emotional baggage that comes with it. Grief doesn't simply disappear after a funeral or after a certain amount of time has passed. It lingers, sometimes unexpectedly. Maybe your partner hasn't fully healed from the emotional wounds left behind by their previous marriage. Perhaps they still mourn certain aspects of their past life. And that grief can sometimes be hard to deal with, especially if it's hidden under the surface. This might show up in unexpected ways. They might be distant. They might have moments where they're lost in thought, or they might experience deep sadness without any clear reason. This emotional baggage can be difficult to navigate. As much as you want to be there for your partner, you may also feel overwhelmed by the weight of their grief. It's not easy to be in a relationship where there's emotional distance, even if it's not intentional. However, healing is a process, and every person moves through it in their own way. If you can be patient, understanding, and supportive, you might just become the person who helps them heal, who shows them that love can exist again, even in a different form. Risk 3. Children from the previous marriage. Another challenge that often comes with marrying a widow is navigating relationships with children from the previous marriage. The dynamics can be complicated. These children might have their own opinions about their parents' new partner. They may still be grieving the loss of their parent, or they might feel a sense of loyalty to the memory of their late parent. As the new spouse, you might feel like an outsider, constantly trying to prove your place in the family. Even if the children accept you, there may always be an underlying tension as they try to adjust to the idea of someone else stepping into their late parent's shoes. You might also face situations where the children feel you're trying to replace their parent, which can create resentment. This doesn't necessarily mean the relationship with the children is doomed, but it does take time, effort, and a lot of patience to form meaningful bonds. But just like with any family dynamic, there's always room for growth. Over time, with understanding and empathy, you may find that those relationships become stronger than you ever imagined. Risk 4. Financial complications. When you marry a widow, financial complications can sometimes arise. Perhaps your partner has inherited assets or debts from their previous marriage, and you're left to navigate the financial landscape together. Maybe there are still financial obligations, such as child support, alimony, or a will that hasn't been fully settled. These financial matters can feel like a huge burden, especially when you're trying to build your own future together. In some cases, one partner may feel that they are taking on more than they bargained for, while the other partner feels they are being judged or scrutinized for their financial history. There might also be issues if the late spouse had significant investments or properties, and your new partner is still dealing with those after their passing. But in all relationships, communication is key. If you can sit down together and have honest discussions about finances, you'll be better equipped to handle the complexities that come with them. Transparency can turn a potential burden into an opportunity to strengthen your partnership. Risk 5. The fear of losing them again. For many people marrying a widow, the fear of losing them again can be overwhelming. They've already experienced the death of a partner, and the idea of experiencing that kind of loss once more can create intense anxiety. You might find yourself being overly protective, constantly worrying about their health or safety. Every time they leave the house, you might feel that pang of fear. It's a fear of losing them, not just because of death, but because you've already seen what life without them looks like, and it's something you never want to experience again. This fear can sometimes lead to unhealthy attachment or suffocation. The person you remarried to might not even realize that they are being smothered by this constant worry. However, it's important to remember that life is unpredictable and we can't live in fear. The best way to deal with this anxiety is by focusing on creating a healthy, strong relationship where you both feel safe, supported, and cherished. Life is precious, and so is the time you have together. Risk 6. Social stigma and judgment. In some social circles, there can be a stigma around marrying a widow or widower. People may judge the relationship, whisper behind your back, or wonder if the person you married is truly ready to move on. The idea that you're the second choice or the replacement can hurt, even if it's not true. Sometimes you may feel like you're being constantly scrutinized, as if everyone expects the relationship to fail or wonders how you could be so quick to marry someone who was already married before. Yet the truth is, society is often quicker to judge than to understand. It's essential to remember that your relationship is your own. It doesn't matter what others think, as long as you and your partner are committed to each other. Ignore the whispers and focus on the love you share. Risk 7. unrealistic expectations. Finally, the last risk is the unrealistic expectations that can arise when marrying a widow. You might feel the pressure to be the perfect partner, to fill the void left by their previous spouse. The truth is, no one can replace another person, and that's not what your partner is asking for. They're asking for love, support, and a fresh start. However, the pressure to live up to the memory of someone else can lead to feelings of inadequacy, stress, and burnout. It is easy to feel like you have to be perfect or else you'll disappoint your partner. This can create tension and, in some cases, resentment. But here's the thing. Your partner doesn't need perfection. They need love. If you can accept each other's flaws and build a relationship based on mutual respect, understanding, and patience, you'll find that perfection isn't the goal. Happiness is. Risk 8. Fear of not being able to build a new future. Another challenge in marrying a widow is the fear that you want to be able to build a new future together. Often, your partner has already created a life with their previous spouse. This can create a sense of reluctance or difficulty in starting fresh. The memories of past vacations, anniversaries, or even the way they lived together can sometimes feel like an obstacle to creating new traditions with you. In many ways, you might feel like the second chapter, and the first one was so well written, it's hard to imagine writing your own story. There's also the possibility that your partner is still holding on to aspects of that past life. You may wonder if they truly want to build a future with you, or if they are still waiting for something they lost. But remember, a second chance doesn't mean you're competing with the past. It means you're creating something new and beautiful together. With open communication and patience, you'll find that it's possible to build a new life filled with unique memories just for the two of you. The importance of communication and patience. Now, let's take a step back and look at what all of these risks have in common. At the core, every single one of them can be mitigated by one crucial thing: communication. The more you and your partner communicate openly, honestly, and without judgment, the easier it will be to navigate these challenges. It's also essential to be patient with your partner and with yourself. Relationships take time, and this one is no exception. The past may never fully fade away, but with time, understanding, and mutual support, the past becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Marrying a widow may come with its set of challenges, but it also comes with the potential for deep connection, growth, and the opportunity to create a future built on shared love, trust, and resilience. So, what have we learned? Marrying a widow isn't for everyone, but it's not the risk it may seem at first glance. With the right mindset, open communication, and a willingness to embrace both the past and the future, the relationship can thrive. The risks are real, but so are the rewards. It's a chance for growth, for shared healing, and for love that transcends loss. If you're considering this journey, take your time to really understand the challenges and embrace the beauty of what's to come. If you're married to a widow, planning to marry one, or simply interested in the topic, I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe for more content and share this video with anyone who might benefit from it. We all face risks in relationships, but when we face them together with understanding and love, those risks can turn into some of the most beautiful parts of our story.